just trust your coaches. Just do what they say. You got to be super coachable,
Yeah.
and and just having that self-belief that you can be anybody.
Nathaniel Grimard, professional fighter here out of New England. Nathaniel, how are you?
Good, man. How are you doing?
I'm good. So you're coming off a first-round TKO victory over Charlie Gathers at NEF 61. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, he talked a big game about his grappling, so I kind of wanted to put a grappling versus grappler real quick to see how it went.
Yeah.
So I kind of just flicked up a quick head kick, got into the double leg, flattened him out, and it was a wrap from there.
Yeah. So you were at the press conference along with him. Obviously, during the press conference, he was telling us how he's trained with high level national wrestlers and stuff like that. But once you got into the cage, it seemed like you were pretty dominant in there with your wrestling. Did that kind of change your do anything to your mind, or be like you were just ready to wrestle him anyway?
I mean, I knew he was more of a grappler, but I also kind of just wanted to impose my will, really. I have that college wrestling experience, which plays a huge part in the chain wrestling portion of it. And so that's why I think I can really exceed with my MMA wrestling, and I've showed it in my past sports. My past fights. So really just once I got into that single leg position, confidence kind of skyrocketed from there.
Yeah, nice. So you're currently riding a 2-fight win streak here. What are you looking for to next in 2025?
Just keep the win streak going. I want to stay active. I want to be back on that May card, and then maybe take a little time off in the summer just to keep developing, but just to keep the ball rolling, man. Just keep stack them up.
Yeah. Do you have anything in the works currently for May 3rd up in Bangor for NEF 62?
Nothing in the works. I think Matt knows I want on it.
Yeah.
He's usually very fast about getting me fights, so hopefully we can get something locked in within the next month or so, and then just right back into camp.
Yeah. So what got you into MMA? Because as you just said earlier, that your college wrestling played a big role throughout your professional and amateur MMA career. So what got you into wanting to start fighting?
I went down to Nelsos a few times to train with Ross Danner. He was my senior high school wrestling captain in Exeter. So when I went to college, I used to come down and kind of just wrestle with him a little bit during his classes. And that's when I really fell in love with Nostos and joined the end of my junior year and ended up fighting. So that was a huge part and kind of why I started and where it came from.
Yeah. And did you always want to take that step, that next level to the professional rankings too? Or did it kind of just seem to go that way?
Yeah, not at first, but once I got that first win, it seems like everybody kind of just catches that itch to just keep going. They want to be a professional fighter. So I got that itch, and I just kept wanting to fight. It just hasn't gone away. I keep wanting to compete. I'm healthy, so might as well just ride it out right now.
Yeah, nice. And you're young. How old are you?
26.
26. So you still got plenty of time to do literally whatever you want to do. Have you ever thought, or do you currently coach and train other fighters or teach fitness classes?
I'll run the conditioning once in a while, but we have a great coach that Brody McDougall. He's also pro. He does a great job with kind of outlining on what to do at Nostos. So he'll kind of do it. He might write a workout if somebody needs to jump in, but other than that, it's just kind of coaching wrestling, being a great body in their own, and just a teammate to the other guys.
Yeah. So obviously you're known more as using your wrestling, but we haven't really seen too much of your striking. Is that something you want to start to use more of in your next upcoming fights, or is the wrestling just kind of how to wrestle, so you're gonna out wrestle everyone?
Yeah, man, I've been working on the striking. It's going to show soon, I promise you. It's
okay.
I'm definitely confident with it.
Yeah.
It's just kind of putting the hands on people in the cage. Is just kind of, I didn't really expect to wrestle this guy that quick. To be honest, the whole camp are kind of just working on staying long, staying tight guard. But yeah, I'm ready to strike with a lot of these guys, and it's going to show.
Yeah.
I got something coming for that.
Yeah, I mean, you fired off that front head kick in the beginning of this fight, and I mean, I was like, "Whoa, that was a really good head kick you just threw," and then you went right, you took him down and just beat him up from the floor. But I mean, your leg got up there pretty good.
Yeah, man. It's just, I mean, we're working. You know how it is. We train every day.
Yeah.
I'm always working on my striking. I'm always working on my jiu-jitsu. It's
Mhm.
If I've been training for 5 years now and I don't know how to strike, then I got some bigger problems going on. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's coming on. I can't wait to show you guys.
Yeah. So I think a couple of years ago, maybe it was last year, but you had your fight in the PFL, correct?
Yeah, it was like about a year and a half ago, I think.
Yeah. Why didn't you tell us a little bit about that experience and fighting for the PFL on a bigger professional stage?
It was crazy, man. Just the way they treat their fighters. I mean, they have a whole like written out schedule for you every day. You got like your own workout rooms. That experience was great, and that really kind of like set a fire under me to like where I have to be at that level and to get back there. And so I think right now riding that 2-fight win streak really kind of just motivates me to get back there and be like, all right, I need to keep this going. I had a tough year after that PFL fight, like just fighting wise, really just gaining my confidence back. So I think getting 2 fights in a row, both finishes, I'm just excited to keep going and get back to that PFL level.
Yeah. So how do you handle losses and or setbacks in the sport?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it sucks, but everybody kind of goes through it. I feel like you have to have short-term memory with it, right? Like you lost, you dwell on it, but then you just get back to the gym and get better, because it's in the past. You're focusing on your next steps forward and what you have to do to win those next fights, just to learn from it.
Yeah. So when you fought in the PFL, you fought John Caldone. What was he? When you met him in the cage, was he everything that fight was expecting? You were expected of?
Pretty much, man. I mean, once we got in there, it wasn't like I didn't get like starstruck or anything. I was moving forward. I was doing what I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
I definitely could have done some stuff better. About like moving off the cage, not getting stuck there. But it was what we expected. A guy to kind of just throw hard, move forward, and for us to keep moving our feet, wrestle. I definitely know what I could have done better technically and mentally that fight. So I just can't wait to have another opportunity to get back there and show what I'm capable of.
Yeah. Do you have any rituals or anything you kind of do before your fight or leading up to your fight to kind of get you into the mental fight ready state?
Not really. I'll train like all week. I feel like a lot of people kind of take some time off. They might like taper it down like 2 weeks in advance before the fight. But I mean, I'm sparring the week before. I'm training hard all the way up until Wednesday night.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just really with like that's wrestling, right? Like we're used to training hard every day and then competing on that Saturday, Sunday if you're sore or banged up or not. So just really training hard. I don't have like set rituals, but I'm gonna train and try to get better all the fight week as well.
Yeah. What does a normal, typical training camp look like for you, like throughout your day?
I mean, I used to kind of have it like be like, all right, 6 weeks from the dot. We're training 6 days per week, but now it's not really like the 6 week mark anymore. It's kind of just I want to be in the gym. If it's 8 weeks out, if it's 12 weeks out, once it gets closer, we'll ramp up the intensity and kind of like focus more on some techniques. But like fight camp wise, it's just 6 days a week. You're in the gym as long as I can be. I leave work, go straight to the gym, come back sometimes at like 10 o'clock at night. And that's just normal for me. That's just training is part of the sacrifices.
Yeah. Do you have a set like strength and conditioning block, like where you do like your weights and then you have your skills?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like conditioning days at the gym usually are like Tuesdays and Fridays are big days. And then like Sundays I'll be just kind of lifting on my own to get stronger. But yeah, I mean, usually I'll do like a conditioning session on Tuesday or Friday, and then after that it's like jiu-jitsu or live rolling. So it's not just like one 45-minute session of a workout. It's all right, you do this, all right, now to the next class. Now you're focusing on just technique since you just like exhausted yourself,
Yeah. Do you excuse me? Do you prefer? Kind of a dumb question. I was gonna say, do you prefer striking or grappling? But I think you prefer grappling.
I prefer grappling, but at the same time, like I love boxing. I love
Okay.
watching boxing. I love kind of just moving forward and using my hands.
Mm-hmm.
It's. I'm going to show you guys soon that I am a pro lever striker, and I just make grappler. It's just once I mix it all together, that's when I'm good, and just keep getting better. Just keep showing it. But yeah,
How has your mentality changed from going from the amateur rankings into the professional rankings? Has that shifted anything, training wise, mentality wise?
it didn't at first when I first made that transition, but later it definitely did. Because all these guys are pro, man. Even if you're losing tough fights, it's the intensity level is different. They're all pro. They're all chasing the same dream. It's not like you're not getting many hobbyists. You're getting athletes that have Thai backgrounds, jiu-jitsu backgrounds. So it's really just level of intensity is different, definitely different in skill level than amateur.
Yeah. Do you have anyone you look up to, maybe outside any other professional athlete, UFC, Bellator, any other sports athlete you look up to kind of motivate you to keep going?
I mean, obviously, it's their head coach, right? Devin kind of paved the way with, he owns a gym. He was a professional fighter. For me, he's living the dream. And so it's definitely somebody I look up to in his work ethic. But other than that, it's just, I love the sport. I'm always going to kind of pick certain athletes I love studying. One week it might be a grappler. The next week it'll be a striker, But like on a personal level, yeah, it'd definitely be the head coach, Devin.
Yeah, that's nice. Do you have any aspirations to open up your own gym one day?
Yeah, that's part of the dream, being like a successful pro and kind of making a career out of that, and then transitioning to having your own gym once the wheels fall off, So yeah, it's definitely a goal and part of the dream of mine.
Yeah. And all your teammates out of Nostos are definitely like coming up. Like you guys always have fighters on every New England card, whether it's NEF, Combat Zone, Cage Titans. You guys seem to be always on a card. How does it feel to have that many fighters coming from your gym just constantly?
I love it personally. You look at other gyms, they don't have that. They don't offer the classes that we have. They don't have fighters that we have. We definitely have a big group, but it's a tight group as well. It's just, it makes it feel more like a team. This is such an individual sport, but at the same time, it's almost like a wrestling team vibe where we're traveling to different like tournaments and you're cornering people and you're seeing how they do. So it's definitely something that I love. And picks up the intensity in the room all the time for fight camps as well, which is super beneficial.
Yeah. What advice would you give to like a younger fighter, maybe just starting out as an 0-0 amateur, looking to just start fighting?
Yeah, work hard and believe in yourself. Trust your coaches. I think it's a big thing is not always trusting your coaches. Like if they tell you to do something, if it's technique wise or there's coaching you from the outside, just trust your coaches. Just do what they say. You got to be super coachable, and and just having that self belief that you can be anybody.
Thank you for joining me today on the show, Nathaniel Grimard, professional fighter here in New England, coming off his first round TKO victory. Nathaniel, I'm going to leave the floor to you. Your time to give any shout outs. Thank you, sponsors. The floor is yours.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. All my sponsors, you got Higgins Motor Pool in Rochester, Prover Construction out of Jan Oliveira, Robert McInnes. I'm sure I'm missing a bunch, but everybody at Nostos, the gym, it's not possible with all the coaches and sponsors. So thank you to all of them.
Cool. Thank you.